Hi everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. I'm so happy to have you here today. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make a really pretty paper craft. But before we get started, be sure that you're subscribed here on YouTube. That way you don't miss out on any of the fun, crafty content we have coming. Now I want to show you how to make these really fun paper butterflies. I made them a little bit 3D and we're going to use some metallic cardstock with this. This is such a fun and easy craft to do. You will only need a couple colors of cardstock. I'll link all the ones that I used down below. You'll need a little bit of glue of your choice, and then you're just going to need a way to fold them, which you can just do with your hands or a bone folder or a pencil. Whatever you got on hand will work. And then all we're going to do is use an image from Design Space, but you could use one from Google as well, and just learn how to contour. It's a super easy thing to do that I'm going to show you in this video. Now, if you have any questions, please be sure to leave them in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to be using Design Space image for this, so I'm just going to go into images and I'm going to search for butterfly, but you can do this with really any image that you want to. It does not have to be the same one that I'm using. I'm going to scroll through and find one that I like. I think this one will work. I like the style of this butterfly here. I think it's really, really pretty. Now we're going to be using 3 layers for this because I want the dots to appear to be a different color. And then I want this inside section of my butterfly to appear to be another color. So this is actually a lot easier than you think. What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate our butterfly twice. That way we have the 3 layers that we're going to want to use, since we're using 3 different colors per butterfly. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the base layer, which is going to be our metallic layer, because that's going to be our bottom layer and I want that layer solid. So I'm going to go under contour, and all I'm going to do is click hide all contours. And now we have a solid butterfly. Now I'm going to change the color of this so that we can see the vision a little bit easier. And I'll pull this one down to the bottom because that's going to be our base layer. Now the next layer that we want, you can kind of start to see the visual, is going to be the layer where all we're going to see are the dots through the layer. So this layer is the layer that I'm going to make white. So I'm going to go ahead and change this color. I might make it iridescent. I'm going to see kind of what colors I have in my cardstock. But for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to contour. And for this one, all I want to do is contour out the dots. So anything that I want to show through the top layer as white will be clicked to remove it from the design. I'm going to go ahead, click all of those, and now we have our white or iridescent or I don't know, whatever color I decide to make this. Then we have the black layer, which the black layer is going to be the layer that is going to be our top layer. And that is what's going to give our butterfly that traditional butterfly look. Now I'll make this a bit bigger so you can kind of see, but when we lay this all together, it's going to line up and you're going to have white dots, metallic insides, and you're going to have that black outside. Now I need to size this to whatever size I want to make my butterflies. This is a little bit big. I don't want to probably make them any bigger than maybe, I don't know, maybe like 6 inches. That's probably a good size for these butterflies. And you can make them as big or small as you want to. It's really up to you. Now I am going to make several copies of this because I'm going to make the colors. I'm going to make a couple of different colored butterflies. So because I want to use different colors, I do find that duplicating this is going to be our easiest way. So let's say we're going to make 5 butterflies. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we'll have 5 sets of our butterflies that we can cut. Now I'm going to save this design and I'm just going to call it 3D butterfly or butterfly since the keyboard didn't connect right away. So we'll call it 3D butterfly and click save. Now right now they're not going to look 3D, but we're going to do a little bit of folding to the cardstock so that they pop out a little bit more. Now all I'm going to do here is click the make button, and what you'll see is we're going to be having a couple different butterflies here. We've got our butterflies on our white, and we have the outside butterflies on the black, and then we have these ones. Now, little problem here, right? You can see they're all in the same color. That's because I did forget a step. I need to make each of my blue butterflies a different color so that they'll cut on different mats. So I'm just going to go through, and it does not matter what color I make them, just so long as they are a different color than what is on the rest of the butterflies. So I don't care what color they are. That doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and resave this because I can't believe I forgot to do that stuff. But again, nobody's perfect when you make stuff, so it's okay if you're not. So now when I hit make, you'll see that we have our whites, we have our blacks, but now we should have all the different metallic colors that we're going to use. Now, I do think we might be able to fit more than like 2 butterflies per sheet of white cardstock if you want to save a little bit, or if you're somebody who prefers to have like these straight pieces of cardstock that you can like reuse, that's fine, save them. But I just think I can probably fit more, and I don't tend to like to save my cardstock too much. I don't usually like reuse a lot of it. So for me, I'd rather just kind of see if I can fit another butterfly. I may not be able to. Maybe if I turn it. Oh, I think if I turn it. Oh yeah, see, look at that. I'm able to fit a whole other butterfly, and I think I can fit one more over there too. So all I'm doing is right-clicking on those 3 dots, and I'm going to go to Move Object, select the mat that I want to move it to, and click Continue. Then I can just kind of pull this down, and I think if I turn him, I might be able to fit him. Maybe not, but we'll find out. I don't think so, though. He might be a little too big to fit, but I'll kind of play around with it and just see if maybe if I turn this one, look at that. I'm able to fit 4 if I just turn them. So I'll do that probably to the black as well, and then I'll just move this guy back up to the corner. So let me go ahead and move my black ones around. That way I can fit them onto the mats together. You can actually move 2 things together as well if you just select both objects, click Move Object, and then move them to that screen. So again, I think if I just turn this one sideways, he'll fit. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this one down here, and then I'll turn this one sideways, and now he will fit. And now I can fit 4 butterflies per sheet of cardstock. Welcome to Design Space. It doesn't always do what you think it will. So I'm going to go ahead to the machine and get these cut out. These are all going to cut on the medium cardstock for the white and the black, but I do find that the metallic, I tend to have to use the heavy cardstock because it is a little bit thicker, but it works really well. We're going to cut the butterflies out. So we'll start with our white layer here, and I'm cutting on the medium cardstock setting. Now that we have everything cut out, assembling these is just as easy as you think. So what I like to do is I'm going to go ahead and lay out my layers here. They don't have to be perfect, but this way I can kind of make sure I've got everything. And get these 2 taken apart. So the layers will be with the black on the top, the white in the middle, and the metallic on the bottom. Now there's lots of ways to hold these together. A glue stick works great. You can also use double-sided tape. You can use craft tape, whatever you got. Anything really does work. This is not a difficult item. So I do like to start with the black layer just because I find that I can put the glue on this one a little bit easier. Let me scooch these white guys out of the way. Like I said, I just kind of lay them out to make sure I have all the pieces and parts that I need. And with the black, listen, these are symmetrical. It doesn't matter which way you have them facing. Now, one thing I will say, I do tend to like to put something under this, like a silicone mat or just something to protect my table once I find my silicone mat. And that just helps protect the table from like glue getting on it. I don't really care. It's Elmer's glue. You can just wipe it off. This is the Craft Bond glue. It works great. And honestly, you don't need a lot. I usually just do like a couple kind of dabs around the edge. I'll do one in the middle, a couple around the edge, and then I'll just kind of dab its little antennae. Like I said, don't need a lot of glue. These are super easy, super quick craft. Longest part really is just cutting them. Then you take your white and your black and you layer them together. Now the nice thing about this glue is you can reposition. So I do prefer to be able to kind of move them around a little till I'm happy with where they're sitting, and then just press it down. Now I like to do all of the white and black layers at once. That way those can kind of dry while we wait, and then we can move on to the metallic. So I'll go ahead and get all the white and black layers put together, and then we'll go ahead and get the metallic. The fun part comes where we can add the metallic section, which is really, it's gonna just set this off. So again, I like to flip this over, and I like to do this on to the white section and not onto the metallic section, just because then you can really make sure that you get the glue where the cardstock is versus outside of it. And again, I just put a little on the antennas, a little on the corners. You don't have to do a lot of glue for these. And again, you can move these around if need be. If you don't get them lined up perfectly when you set this down, which I never do, and that's okay. So you scooch it around a little until you're happy. Then I just put it down, press it down, and we have our gorgeous metallic butterfly. Now you do want to let these dry before you do any folding to them. That is super important. Now also, if you're getting a little bit of glue on your silicone mat, from here you can always either flip it over, wipe it down, whatever you got to do to clean that off if it's going to get on to anything you don't want it to. I just have some baby wipes that I can use that I can just kind of wipe that glue off, and these aren't real wet anymore. They kind of dried out from being down in my craft room for a while, but they'll work fine just to kind of get some of this just gunk off. And we can go ahead and get this finished. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting these all together, and then I'll show you how to fold them once they've dried for a few hours. I've let our beautiful butterflies dry for just a little bit, and I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can fold these. So I'm just using like a cheesy, cheap weeding tool. And you can fold your butterfly just a little bit around that. And this is going to give it a little more of a depth. And you can see I'm not folding it all the way over. I'm just giving it a little bit of a fold. And now it's a little more 3D, so you can see a little better that way. But now it's going to have just that little more 3D look. You can also use a bone folder. This will give you just about that same fold, but you can really use anything, a pencil, a pen. You don't even have to use this necessarily. You can just fold them on your own. I like to have a little bit of an edge. Now the bone folder is going to give you a little sharper of an edge, so you're not going to have quite as smooth as an edge, but there is the one with the bone folder. You really, truly cannot tell the difference. It's really up to you how you want to fold them, whatever works best for you. And like I said, you don't even necessarily need the folder. You can just do it on your own with your hands and fold it however you want. So really lots of options as to how you want to fold these. You do you and whatever works best for you. There's not really a wrong way to do this as long as you're happy with the outcome. Now I do tend to like to use the bone folder a little bit more. I like a little bit crisper of a fold. And then you can always fold it a little bit more if you want it to be a little tighter. However you want your butterflies to look. You don't even have to fold them if you don't want to. If you prefer them just to be flat, you can do that too. Like I said, there's no wrong way to do these. That's what's beautiful about crafting, is that you can really let your own personality and design choices shine. You do not have to do what I do. I'm just here to guide you on how to necessarily make the thing, and then you kind of have fun with it. So here are our little 3D butterflies. Now you can hang these on your wall. You could put these on really anything that you want to. I do see I need to add a little bit more glue to this one, and that's okay. Sometimes you might need to add a little additional glue. It happens, especially right now. It's super hot and we are very humid. So in the basement, it's quite humid. So I do just need to add a little dab of glue, but that's fine. No big deal. I want to get you guys a nice up close look at these because I do think they're so beautiful, and I want you to see how shiny they are. I hope you had so much fun with this video. I love making these metallic butterflies. They're perfect for so many items. So let your imagination be your guide and have fun with them. Make them any color that you want in any style that you want. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Be sure you're subscribed here. That way you don't miss out on any of the fun, crafty content we have coming. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting.